Hi and welcome back to the Tackle King fishing channel. Today I'm back down on Coronation Park on River Usk. I'm just going to try a little bit of lure fishing down here. I've never done lure fishing off Coronation Park before, and I want to give it a go before they close the path and we can't get down to the river. I'm only going to be here a couple of hours. I'm about here an hour before high tide. It's quite a high one today, about 12.3 metres or something like that. As you can see, there's a bit of a freezing fog, so it's very cold, but wind wise only a slight breeze, so it's perfect for casting lures and stuff like that. I'm going to try top water lures first to see how that goes. Might get a conger, something like that. If not, after a while, if nothing's happening, I might drop down. I brought some wiggly worms with me, so we do some bottom jigging and see if we can pick up a winter flounder or something like that. I've also got some mid-water lures as well, so we'll see what happens. The main thing is, because it's muddy water and very murky, I'm really going to go for something either like a yellow lure, top water lure, or a black one. So I've got these. I've got little black, sorry, white, yellow bug type top water worms, and another yellow one there. Forget about the green one hanging off. I've also got a black one, so those are quite nice top water worms. They're top water lures. They work between the surface down to about 6 inches, and I've also got the mouse or rat as well. So as I say, I've also got some bottom jiggler worms, so I might go for that for the flounder, and some segmented, multi-segment mid-water fish lures. But I'm really going to start off with this top water lure. I've got a short 3 metre boat rod type thing, rated up to about 28 grams. None of those are 28 grams. So plenty of casting ability there. I've only got an 18-pound line, and we'll get set up and cast out and see what happens. So I've had a few people, well, I think 4 people respond to the last video asking about this the cage I have on the bike and what bag I use, and this is it. As you can see, it's fitting really well. The basket is from Amazon. It's a Basil cycle basket, and this is a large. So that's a large Basil cycle basket, and as you can see, this fits in really, really well. Just slides in. Sorry, can I get that bit better? Just slides out and slides in, and that's a Shakespeare combined bag and fishing chair. It's a deluxe one, so this one has the backrest to the chair, and that just, again, I got that from Amazon. Very easy to slip in, and there's still space around for putting in any fishing rods or bits and pieces that you need to put in. I've got my telescopic rod with me today, so that's in the bag, fits really nicely into the bag, but when I take the larger rods, I can normally slide them in somewhere. But again, those telescopic rods, I haven't got a sectional rod yet, so they tend to be quite long. How I'm going to fit that on once I get it, I don't know. Maybe I'll strap on down there somewhere. I'm not sure, we'll see when we get the rod. But telescopic rods and that Shakespeare basket just fits in there really, really nicely. Okay, so we're set up here. We're using the yellow bug top floating lure. It's got a couple of paddles on the front to set up some sounds. So let's give this a go. Let's take it out and do a few casts. Right, tide wise, it's quite a high tide today. We're about an hour before high tide. I think it's about 12.4, 12.5 metres, something like that. Because there's such a high tide, there's lots and lots of stuff floating around. So we might get a few tangles, but not to worry. What we're targeting with a topwater lure, these will go about surface down to about 6 inches, is fish that are feeding close to the bank. Because obviously fish are going to come in quite close to feed off all of the insects and bugs and stuff and detritus that falls off the bank on a high tide. So we don't want to go too far out. Hopefully, we might pick up a conger or something like that. And if this doesn't work, we might do a black lure, then maybe go down to a bottom worm and try and get you into flounder or stuff like that. But a lot of it today is going to be trying to avoid some of this floating grass and floating branches and stuff like that. Now, with topwater lures like this, what you want to be doing is jigging the bait, making it look as though it's injured to make it attractive to any predators that are around. I quite like lure fishing because it's a bit more active. I find it a bit... Oops, don't want to do that. I find it a bit more active than just normal sort of sea fishing or tidal fishing. But as I say, you don't want to go too far out. And I'm just letting the tide take the bait down a little bit. So if you get anything, I'll get the camera running and see what happens. I do tend to try and point me, keep the rod down quite low when I'm lure fishing. But we are bringing in quite a bit of floating stuff. I tend not to speed up as I bring it closer to the bank. In fact, I'll try and leave it for a few seconds before it gets too shallow, purely because fish will track it and they'll take the bite at the last possible moment. So you don't want to sort of speed up your retrieval too much just because you're getting closer to the bank, because that's the time when you're likely to get your bite. But of course, you need to cast out a bit further than that. My hands are beginning to warm up, and when that happens, my casting will get better. But I'll carry on and I'll restart if you get anything of interest. Sounds like there's a boat coming up. Can't see it though. Can't even see the other side of the bank. It's that foggy at the moment. So it's getting quite high now. I think it's getting quite close to high tide. I might need to just move back a little bit because it's almost at my feet. Ooh. Looks like it's got a bit of a tangle there. I'm just going to move the camera back a bit because I'm getting quite close to the water's edge here, so I might even move my bag. It does come quite quickly, but I think fairly much at the high tide mark now, but we'll just move back a little bit. Still pretty cold, but it's not too bad actually once you start casting out and you get a bit of movement going. Right, okay, so let's give this old rat lure a try and see if that works any better than that floating top lure, which was sort of a bit of a bug or some sort of insect. So we'll give this one a try and see what happens. It's a little bit heavier, so I should be able to cast a little bit further. Again, this is a top water lure, so it's sort of best for sort of surface and about 6 inches down, so it's got quite a lot of air in it. It's also got a bit of a rattle to it as well, so it should be more attractive or more noticeable, but we'll see what happens. Plenty of rats in the River Usk. The fish, the predators should be used to them. Because one big question is, oh, the fog's beginning to clear up. But a big question is what's going to happen next month when Coronation Park pretty much closes for fishing because you can't get down here. And in addition, the bank on the other side is also closed by where the visitor centre is being built, because that's the construction site as well. So best places are probably going to be Monkey Island. You've got down by the car showroom as well, and we've got that little bit of green bank. That gets quite busy in the summer, so that's going to be quite busy, I should imagine, once the weather starts to pick up, because it's quite a well-known spot. You've got those two sort of seating areas which just out on the river walkway, which I've done a post on. That's down by the I think it's the Oyster Bar, is it, or something like that, the Oyster Cafe. So apart from that, you're going to have to head out down to Redrick in one direction, or out to St Bride's in the other direction. One place I want to try, which I haven't tried yet, is Shakespeare Park. Now that's upstream of Newport Town Centre. I believe you can get down to the bank down there. I've heard that people have gone fishing there. Because it's quite a way up the river, I mean, it's still tidal, so legally you should still be able to fish without a licence during tidal periods. But I've got a fishing licence anyway, so that doesn't really matter. But Shakespeare Park is one area I want to sort of maybe look at and give a try and see what the fishing like's down there. But really, apart from Monkey Island, the walkway, and by the ex-car showroom, which is now, well, the car showroom, where the jetty is, it's going to be a little bit restricted for 18 months. But that's just the way it goes. So we will have a look at Shakespeare Park fairly soon. I'll go there and explore it and see what it's like. But St Bride's isn't too bad. It's easy enough to get to if I book the bus. And I also believe it's within sort of a range of my e-bike, so that's possible. In nicer weather, I'll be able to do it on the bike. But I've also seen people fishing off the walkway by the road bridge in central Newport. Again, really only suitable for very high tides because you've got such a big wall there down to the river. So when you catch something, you really need a drop net to bring it up with on the lower tides. But on the high tides, it's doable. But at the end of the day, it's only about 18 months. And then Coronation Park will be back open again. But I just do like Coronation Park. It's such a nice area. It's very relaxing. Can get really quite close down to the river. And it's relatively snag free. I mean, even on a high tide like this where I'm lure fishing, I am bringing in a bit of grass and a bit of vegetation getting caught up. But I'm not getting hung up and snagged up. So it's quite a nice fishing location. So anyway, it is cold, so I think I'm going to have a 10-minute break, get the flask out, and have a cup of tea. Right, well, the tide's dropping, and it's dropping quite rapidly, as it normally does if it's a very high tide. Been relatively snag free. We've brought in quite a bit of vegetation, but haven't really snagged up a lot. Quite a nice little rat lure this is. Swims along quite nicely. I don't know how it shows up on the camera, but I did try and pick it up swimming. Let's have another go, see if we can get it in shot as it swims along. But it is very murky water, very muddy water, so... But sorry about that, we seem to have lost the camera fell over. But I'll try and get another shot with it swimming. If not, I'll just bring it close to the bank and then I'll hand hold the camera and try and get a picture of it that way. Because it does look quite nice as it moves through the water. So let's try and get a better I don't know if you can see it that way. It is. But when you bring it through the water, it's quite a nice movement. And of course it's got the rattle as well. It's actually a little bit better movement when you are reading it a little faster, but I'm just trying to, if I can, get this little mouse lure on film. Okay, so that's it for today. I've got maybe another half hour of the tide left. So I'm just going to carry on doing a little bit of fishing. I'll switch the camera back on if you get anything on the hook. But it's been really nice. It's cold, but it's so nice just to get back out and do a bit of lure fishing. And down here, Coronation Park, the first time I've done it, and it's really quite nice. Snag free. You can get low down close by the water, which is unusual on the River Usk in Newport. So it's a really nice location. So that's it. Tight lines. Hope you all have a good day fishing. And I hope it warms up soon. But I'd rather have the cold than the rain and the wind. So that's it. Please like, subscribe and share if you find this enjoyable. Until next time, cheerio.